Introduction: The wet cement. If you are over 40, 50 or 60 years old, I need you to stop what you are doing and give me your full attention. We are not here for entertainment. We are here because a silent alarm is ringing in your body's biology and the structure of your reality. And most people choose to ignore it until it is far too late for them today. Imagine your life as an immense construction site. When you were 20, the cement of your identity was fresh, liquid and malleable. You could be anything. You could change careers, partners or countries, and reality adapted quickly. You were pure quantum possibility. But as we cross the 40-year threshold, a dangerous phenomenon occurs now. The cement begins to dry. Neuroscience tells us that at this age, 95% of who we are is a set of memorized behaviors, automatic emotional reactions, and unconscious beliefs. We no longer live, we simply reproduce the past. We get up on the same side of the bed, think the same thoughts, and feel the same frustrations as yesterday. Possibility has become personality. And personality is turning into stone. This is the hard truth. If you do not make a radical change now, the scientific probability that your future will be identical to your past is nearly 100%. The window of opportunity to reshape the structure of your life is closing right in front of you. It's not because you aren't capable, but because biological and energetic inertia is becoming heavier. But I have good news. News that defies conventional logic. Quantum physics and metaphysics give us a hammer capable of breaking that hardened cement. They teach us that time is not a straight line. You are not condemned today. You are not condemned to be who you have been until now. There is a spiritual technology, a way of thinking and feeling, that can liquefy your reality once again. It can give you the flexibility of youth back, but with the wisdom of an elder. This audiobook is your manual for demolition and reconstruction in this specific moment. We will explore 10 doors you must open before the cement solidifies forever. We will talk about hacking your health, attracting resources without struggling, and preparing your energetic legacy. But I warn you, this requires courage. It requires letting go of who you think you are to become who you were meant to be in this life. Time does not forgive, but the now is eternal. Let us take advantage of this last quantum opportunity. The cement can still be moved. Your reality is still waiting for your command to shift. Let us begin the process of breaking the mold and building a cathedral of light where there was once only stone. We start our journey now. Chapter 1. The Memory Trap. Stop living in the past. Allow me to describe how your day started today. It most likely happened like this. The alarm went off or you woke up spontaneously. You opened your eyes, and in a matter of milliseconds, your brain downloaded a massive file called My Life. You remembered your name, your age, where you live, and who sleeps beside you in this life. But most dangerously, you remembered your problems. You remembered your back hurts, your bank debt, your anger with your sister or your tyrannical boss. As you remembered all this, your body reacted, your chest tightened. You felt the familiar weight of resignation or anxiety. You reached for your phone to check the bad news. You got out of bed on the exact same side as the last 20 years. You made the same coffee in the same cup. You brushed your teeth with the same hand. You thought the same things while looking in the mirror. If this sounds familiar, I have news that might hurt. You didn't wake up today. You just reloaded a saved game from your past today. You are not living a new day. You are living yesterday for the 15,000th time. Your life has become a closed loop. Quantum physics is clear. You cannot create a new future while living and vibrating in the past. Welcome to Chapter 1. We are here to talk about the biggest trap humans face after age 40, the memory trap. It is a prison. We will discover why your brain and body have conspired to keep you trapped in a reality you no longer like, and how to use consciousness to break the broken record before the music stops forever. It is time to reclaim the steering wheel of your biology and stop being a mere spectator of your own repetitive history in this world. In The Tyranny of Habit, Neuroscience of the Loop. To understand why it's so hard to change at your age, we don't need magic. We need biology. Your brain is a machine of efficiency. Its goal is not for you to be happy or rich, but to survive while spending the least energy possible. Thinking new things costs a lot of energy. Thinking old things is free because the path is made. Imagine your brain as a virgin jungle. When you were 5, there were no paths. Everything was new. Your brain was plastic and liquid. But by repeating the same thoughts for 40 years, you have trodden the same path millions of times. That path is no longer dirt. It is a 6-lane highway paved with reinforced concrete in your mind. Neurons that fire together wire together. Now, at 50 or 60, negative thinking is not a choice. It is an automatic slide. It's easier for your mental car to go down the highway of complaint at 120 km/h than to break and open a new path of gratitude. This is why the cement is drying. Your brain has become fixed in its ways. The more time you spend repeating a reality, the thicker the neural connections that sustain it. You have become an expert at being you. You know perfectly how to be the victim, the sick person, or the worried one. You have reached mastery in your own misfortune. Breaking this highway requires a colossal energy and a deep will now. 2. The body is the past. Chemical addiction. Here is where the plot thickens. Not only is your brain trapped, your body is the jailer. Every time you have a thought, your brain manufactures a chemical, a neuropeptide, that matches that thought. If you think, "My life is a failure," your brain creates the chemistry of sadness. Your body receives it and feels heavy today. The cycle doesn't end there. Your body sends a signal back, "Yes, brain, we are sad." The brain then says, "Since we are sad, I must generate more sad thoughts to justify how I feel." It starts remembering every sad thing since 1985. It's a feedback loop. Think, feel, think, feel. Your body becomes addicted to these emotions. You may consciously say, "I want to be happy," but your body, like an addict in withdrawal, screams, "No, give me my dose of suffering. Give me my dose of guilt. It's what I know. It's what I need to feel normal." Have you ever had a peaceful day and suddenly felt a strange anxiety? It's your body asking for its chemical drug. Your body feels uncomfortable in peace because peace is an unknown chemical. It prefers the familiar bad over the unknown good. After 40, the body has become the mind. The body is at the wheel. You want the future, but your body is anchored in the past. And because the body is denser and heavier, it wins the battle. In The Quantum Observer, Physics of Time. Now we cross the bridge to metaphysics and quantum physics. What does this have to do with attracting money or health? Everything. The fundamental principle is, where you put your attention, you put your energy. And where you put your energy, you create matter. If 90% of your attention is on memories, you are freezing your life. You have no energy left to create the future. You are using your consciousness to freeze your life as it is. For the quantum field, past and future are just possibilities. But when you remember the past with strong emotion, you bring it to the present. Your body doesn't know the difference between a real event and a memory. If you remember a betrayal from 20 years ago and feel rage today, for your body and the quantum field, it is happening today. You are collapsing the wave of probability into the same pattern of betrayal. You are condemning yourself to repeat it. You are sending an electromagnetic signal that says, "I am a victim now." The universe, obedient, will send you more betrayals to match your frequency. People believe the future arrives. No, the future is created from the now. But if your now is occupied by your yesterday, there is no room for tomorrow. The hard drive is full of old files. To let the new in, you must create a vacuum today. IV, nostalgia, the cemetery with flowers. As we age, we fall into a sweet and sticky trap. Nostalgia. The past was better. We were so young. The world has changed for the worse. We spend hours looking at old photos and reviving past glories. It seems harmless, even beautiful, but energetically it is suicide. Nostalgia is living in a cemetery today. You can put flowers on it and clean it, but there is no life there. There are only dead things. Every minute you spend glorifying your past is a minute stolen from building your future. It is a declaration of defeat. It is telling the universe, my best days are over. I expect nothing surprising. I am just waiting for the end. Is that what you want? To be a museum guard of your own life? Break the album. The God who created you is a God of the living, not the dead. Power is in the now. Creativity is in the now. Quantum opportunity is in the now. You cannot drive forward if you don't take your eyes off the rearview mirror. You will crash. V, the fertile void, losing identity. This is the point that causes the most fear. If I ask you to stop thinking about your past and stop defining your identity by what happened to you, you will ask, then who am I? You feel vertigo. You feel a void. Exactly. That is the goal. That void is the quantum field. That void is the place of all creation. To be someone new, you must be willing to be no one for a while. You must cross the river of change, leaving the shore of the known, your old self, while you cannot yet see the shore of the new. It's cold and scary in the middle of the water. Most people swim desperately back to the old shore because it is familiar. But you, knowing that time is running out, must keep swimming. You must learn to be comfortable in uncertainty. Uncertainty is the only place where magic happens. If you know exactly what will happen tomorrow, there is no magic. There is only a predictable prison. If you don't know, then anything can happen, even a miracle. By disconnection protocol, the how. All right, we understand the theory. We are trapped in a neurochemical and temporal loop. How do we get out? How do we break the dry cement? We need an impact tool. We need to introduce dissonance into your routine. Starting tomorrow, for the next 10 days, I demand you do the following. It is an order for your life. 1. The sacred morning, the firewall. Tomorrow, when you open your eyes, do not move. Do not jump out of bed. Do not grab the phone. Do not let the past life file in. Stay still. Breathe. Ask, if today were my first time on earth, who would I choose to be? Let imagination answer, not your memory. Visualize your ideal day. Do not get up until you feel different than you did yesterday. If you get up feeling worried or tired, you lost the battle. Lie back down and start again. 2. Break the physical pattern. If you brush with your right hand, use your left. If you drink coffee, take tea. If you take road A, take road B. Switch your chair. These small changes create cracks in the cement. They make the brain alert and receptive. 3. The story diet. For 10 days, you are forbidden from talking about your past. No, when I had surgery. No, what my ex did. No, how life used to be. Talk about ideas or the future. If you have nothing to say, be silent and listen. Listen to the ticking of the clock. It is not a sound to stress you, but to focus you. You're 40, 50, or 70. It doesn't matter. What matters is that today is the only access point to reality. Yesterday is a ghost. Tomorrow is a dream. Today is the chisel. If you hit the cement of your routine today, you can make a crack. Through that crack, the light of a new life can enter. But if you say, I'll start Monday or I'm too old, then the cement wins. Biology wins. The past wins. And you will live the rest of your days as a blurry photocopy of who you were 20 years ago. Do not allow that. You are a divine spark. Use your power now. Chapter 2. The lie of deterioration, your body listens. Let's be clear. You look at yourself in the mirror in the morning. You see the wrinkles deepening around your eyes. You see the skin losing firmness on your neck. You see the gray hair gaining ground. You feel a sting in your knee when climbing the stairs. You feel tired faster. You feel your memory slip while searching for a word now. Then an internal voice, validated by society, doctors and friends, whispers the great lie. It's normal. It's the age. It's the way down the mountain. Prepare yourself, because from here on out, it's all downhill. That phrase, "it's the age," is a black magic spell. It is a curse you cast upon yourself several times a day in this life. Your body, the most faithful servant in the universe, has no choice but to obey. If the captain, you, says, "The ship is sinking, we are old and broken," the crew, your cells, says, "Understood, stop the repairs, prepare to abandon ship." Welcome to Chapter 2. Today we challenge conventional biology and the myth of inevitable decay now. We will discover that aging, as we know it, is not purely mechanical, but a mental and vibratory process. You are not aging because time passes. You are aging because you are sending your body the uninterrupted signal to shut down. Today, we cancel that order. It is time to reclaim the blueprint of your vitality and rewrite your future. I, the architect and the blueprint, epigenetics. For decades, we were told we were victims of our genes. My father died of a heart attack at 60, so I will too. My mother had dementia, so that is my fate. We believed DNA was a sentence written in stone, but the new science, epigenetics, has shattered that idea. Bruce Lipton taught us that the gene is only an architectural blueprint. For a gene to activate, be it cancer, baldness, or health, it needs a signal from the environment. And in the human being, what is the environment of the cell? The blood. And what controls the chemical composition of the blood? The brain. And what controls the brain? The mind. Follow the chain of command. Mind, ait arrow cell, ait arrow gen today. If you live with fear, your brain floods your blood with cortisol and adrenaline. That chemistry bathes your cells 24 hours a day. That toxic environment is what pulls the trigger of the faulty gene. It wasn't bad luck, it was the signal. At 40 or 50, most people live in fear of their body. They wait for it to break down now. Quantum physics says the observer affects the observed. If you observe your body looking for symptoms or pain, your attention collapses the wave of probability into the form of disease. You are creating your deterioration through the terrifying expectation of it. Stop hunting for illness and start commanding your own regeneration. AUDIOBOOK, the order of obsolescence, biological retirement. Nature is efficient and ruthless. In nature, an organism has energy as long as it is useful for the survival of the species or the pack. The moment the organism feels it no longer has a purpose, nature activates elimination protocols. The immune system shuts down. Cellular regeneration stops. The recycle toward death begins. In modern society, we do something terrible. At 60 or 65, we tell people to retire, sit down, you did your job, now rest and do nothing. And the person believes it. They sit on the sofa, they stop having challenges, they feel like a retiree. Subconsciously, they send the signal, I am no longer useful, close the system today. That is why so many people die or fall seriously ill 2 years after retiring. It wasn't the work that killed them, it was the lack of purpose. If you are over 40, you are forbidden from retiring from life. You can leave your job, but you cannot leave your purpose. You need a mission that makes you wake up hungry for life now. Learning a language, starting a business, or writing a book, you need to tell your cells, do not shut down. I still need you. We have work to do. We are in the middle of a war. When cells feel the demand for energy for a new purpose, they rejuvenate. Utility is the best antioxidant. Keep your fire burning to stay young inside. Third, The language of death, how we curse ourselves. Listen to how people your age speak. Go to a cafe and listen to a group of friends in their 50s or 60s. What do they talk about? It is a competition of misfortunes. My sciatica hurts. My cholesterol went up. I can't see up close anymore, it's the age. They exchange symptoms like trading cards. They validate each other in decay now. If someone says, I feel fantastic, I have more energy than ever, they look at them poorly. They say, just wait, give it a few years. You must leave that conversation now. Every time you say, I am old, your endocrine glands take note. Every time you say, my memory fails, your neurons break connections to prove you right today. Your word is a decree. You must eradicate elderly phrases from your vocabulary. Instead of, I am old, say, I have a lot of history. Instead of, I am sick, say, my body is repairing itself. Instead of, I get tired fast, say, I am learning to manage my energy. It is forbidden to say, at my age I can no longer, in your life. It seems like a semantic game, but it isn't. The subconscious has no sense of humor. It is literal. If you joke saying, I'm ready for the scrap heap, your subconscious starts preparing the coffin. Do not joke with your life. Speak of your body with reverence and strength. Treat it like a Ferrari, not like a piece of junk today. The nocebo effect, the white coat. The placebo effect is when you believe something heals you and you heal. The nocebo effect is when you believe something makes you sick and you fall ill. The greatest authority for nocebo today is the doctor. You go to the office. The doctor, in a white coat, a symbol of divine authority, looks at your tests and shakes his head now. Look, you have X condition. It is chronic, it is degenerative, it has no cure. Prepare for it to get worse. Boom! That diagnosis, if you accept it as absolute truth, becomes a voodoo curse. You leave the office programmed to worsen. Your mind starts looking for symptoms, and it finds them or creates them. Your belief is a command. I've seen people stay stable for years, receive a 3 months left diagnosis, and die exactly at 3 months, because their mind flipped the switch on the appointed date. I'm not telling you to ignore medicine. It's great for trauma, but for chronic issues, remember, a diagnosis is an opinion, not a sentence. Do not accept it today. The doctor knows the average statistic. He does not know your quantum potential or the power of your mind. Accept the name of the problem, but reject the prognosis of the problem. Tell yourself, that is your opinion based on old books. I dictate my reality. I am the exception to the rule. There are thousands of spontaneous remissions. The water of life, Masaru Emoto and you. You are 70% water. Your brain is 80% water. Dr. Masaru Emoto proved that water has memory and responds to vibration. Water exposed to words of hate freezes into chaotic shapes. Water exposed to words of love, thank you, love, freezes into perfect geometric diamonds. Think about what you are doing to your own internal fluid now. If you spend the day insulting yourself, hating your wrinkles, and fearing your future, what are you doing to the water in your cells? You are turning your internal fluid into a toxic and chaotic swamp. In that chaos, disease prospers. Cancer is cellular chaos. You need to restructure your internal water with love and order today. Send it vibrations of order and love. Each morning when you shower or drink your first glass of water, bless yourself. Speak to your cells. They have consciousness. They are soldiers waiting for orders from the general. If the general doesn't speak or cries, the soldiers scatter. Command them to restore order and eliminate the old. Tell them, I love you. Thank you for keeping me alive. You are strong. You are young. Restore order. It might seem crazy to talk to your liver or your knees. It is crazier to let them rot for lack of leadership. Take command of your biology. You are the sovereign ruler of your physical kingdom, and your words are the law of the land. At a certain age, we seek comfort. We want the soft sofa, the elevator, and the perfect temperature. We flee from cold, heat, and effort. And here is the biological trap. Excessive comfort accelerates death. Your body is an anti-fragile system. It needs stress, the good kind, to stay alive. Use it or lose it in this world today. Vi, the paradox of comfort, the enemy on the sofa. If you don't use your muscles, the body dissolves them to save energy, sarcopenia. If you don't load your bones, the body turns them porous, osteoporosis. If you don't expose your body to temperature changes, your regulation system fails. Culture says, rest, don't strain. I tell you, move or die. It is a vital choice now. You don't need to run marathons, but you need to make your body uncomfortable. Carry the groceries, climb the stairs, feel a bit of cold, sweat. Send your body the signal, we are alive, we need strength. Keep the muscles, keep the bones hard. Physical old age is 80% lack of use. It is atrophy through neglect in your daily life. Treat your body like a pedigree dog that needs to run, not like a porcelain vase that will break if the air touches it. By demanding performance, you stimulate the biological systems of repair and growth. Resistance is the whetstone that keeps the blade of your vitality sharp. Embrace the challenge to remain vibrant and strong. 7. Regenerative visualization, the quantum workshop. Finally, let's use the most powerful tool, your imagination. Most people use their imagination to visualize the worst, a hospital bed, being alone, being senile. That is rehearsing failure. We're going to use the quantum workshop. Every night, before sleeping in that theta state, visualize your body rejuvenating right now. Do not see it as it is now. See it as you want it to be. Imagine a golden light flowing through your arteries, cleaning cholesterol like a laser cleaner. Imagine your cells glowing. Imagine your joints lubricated and flexible. See yourself doing agile things, running, dancing, traveling. It is not fantasy, it is instruction today. Your brain does not distinguish between what it sees with its eyes and what it imagines with intensity. If you visualize yourself as agile night after night, your brain creates new neural maps of movement. It starts sending chemical signals of youth. Studies show 70-year-olds in young environments rejuvenated biologically now. Their sight, strength, and posture improved simply because they believed they were young again. Time is a mental construct. You can travel in time biologically if you convince your subconscious that you are 40 instead of 70. Use the power of your mind to set the clock of your biology back and reclaim the vigor of your prime. Chapter 4. Forgiveness as energy savings. Cut the cables. Imagine logging into your online bank account. You check your transactions and discover a monthly automatic transfer that you didn't authorize. It is a massive sum, let's say 30% of your total income. That money is going to an unknown account. It just vanishes. You are alarmed. You call the bank shouting, demanding to know who is stealing from you. The banker tells you, yes sir, you authorized that transfer 20 years ago. It is the monthly payment you send to your ex-partner who cheated you, or that ex-spouse who left you. You signed a contract to send them 30% of your vital energy every single day until the day you die. You would say that is absolute madness. You would say you would never give your money to someone who hurt you. And yet, that is exactly what you are doing with your most valuable resource, your energy. Welcome to Chapter 4. Today, we are going to talk about energy economics. At 20, you have so much energy that you can afford to waste it on hating and holding grudges. But at 50, 60, or 80 years old, your vital energy, your chi, your prana, is a finite and precious resource. You need it to regenerate your organs, to create your new business, and to simply enjoy your life. You don't have a single drop to spare, yet most mature people have massive leaks in their tanks. They are connected by invisible cables to people and events from the past that drain their life away. I am not here to give you a moral lecture. I am not a priest telling you to forgive because it's the right thing to do. I am a quantum architect telling you that you must forgive out of pure, intelligent selfishness. Forgiveness is the only way to stop financing your enemies and recover your capital to invest it back into yourself. By releasing the past, you reclaim the power that belongs to you in the present. It is time to audit your energy and cut the cords that no longer serve your growth or your peace. Quantum entanglement, the invisible cable. Quantum physics speaks of entanglement. Two particles that have interacted once remain connected at a distance, no matter how far apart they are. If one changes, the other reacts instantly. Human relationships work the same way. When you hold a strong emotional charge towards someone, love or hate, you create a quantum cable. Information and energy flow through that cable. If you love someone, you send them nourishing energy. But if you hate someone or hold a grudge, you also send them energy. Hate is a very intense form of attention. Think about it. That person who offended you in 1995. You wake up today, and while you're showering, you remember them. You start arguing with them mentally. You recreate the scene. You feel the indignation. Your heart races. What are you doing? You are taking your fresh energy from today, energy that could heal your body, and you are packaging it and sending it through that invisible cable. Literally, you are feeding your enemy. You are giving them strength and relevance. You keep them alive in your energetic field. That person might not even remember you. They might be happy on a beach somewhere while you are still paying the cable bill. Is that smart? At your age, maintaining a resentment is an act of financial and biological sabotage. It is like leaving the lights on in a house in a country where electricity costs gold. You must cut the cable, not for them, but for you. When you cut the cable, forgive. The energy stops flowing toward them and returns to you like a boomerang. You feel stronger, more lucid and younger. This is the energy we need for your future. The inflammation of the soul, the biology of grudge. Let's move from quantum physics to hard biology. Do you know what resentment is at a cellular level? It is chronic inflammation. When you recall an offense, your reptilian brain doesn't know it happened 20 years ago. It thinks it's happening now. It activates the fight or flight response. It releases cortisol and adrenaline. It tightens your muscles and raises your blood pressure. It prepares your body for an attack that never arrives. If you do this every day for decades, the system burns out. Cortisol corrodes your arteries, and your immune system becomes exhausted from fighting ghosts. Modern medicine is starting to see a direct correlation between accumulated resentment and diseases like cancer, arthritis, and autoimmune disorders. The body attacks itself because the mind is in a state of war. It is useless to paint the facade of the house if the foundation is on fire. Forgiveness is the most powerful anti-inflammatory on the market. It tells your body, the war is over, lower your weapons, there is no more danger. Only when the body receives that ceasefire signal can it dedicate its energy to repairing tissues and rejuvenating itself. Forgiveness is a matter of biological survival. The third, the trap of being right. Why is it so hard to let go? If it hurts us and makes us sick, why do we cling to a grudge as if it were a treasure? Because of the ego. The ego prefers being right over being happy. The ego has a story. I am the victim. He was the bad guy. If I forgive, I am saying what he did was okay. This is the death trap of maturity. Many people build their entire identity around their wounds. I am the woman who was abandoned. I am the man who was cheated by his partner. That story gives them a topic of conversation and an excuse for not succeeding now. If you forgive, you have to renounce that story. You have to give up being the victim, and that is terrifying. Because if you are no longer the victim, then you are the one responsible for your life from here on out. You must choose today. On one side of the scale, being right. On the other, energy, health, future, and freedom. You cannot have both. If you choose freedom, you must drop the need for the other person to recognize their mistake. Most people who hurt you will never apologize. Some are dead. Others are narcissists incapable of seeing it. Do not wait for the apology. The apology is irrelevant. Cut the cable yourself. Be radical forgiveness, releasing, not condemning. Let's clarify what forgiveness is, because there is much confusion. Forgiveness is not going to dinner with your abuser, telling them you love them, forgetting what happened, that would be foolish, or saying it wasn't a big deal. Forgiveness is remembering the fact without the destructive emotional charge. It is saying, this happened, it was unfair, but it is over. I refuse to keep suffering for it today. It is withdrawing the sentence and ceasing to be the judge who guards the prisoner. Imagine you have your enemy locked in a cell in the basement of your mind. You are the jailer. You think you are punishing them, but to guard them, you have to sit in front of that cell 24 hours a day. You are also a prisoner. You can't go out and live because you have to watch the inmate. Forgiving is opening the door and saying, go. I don't want you here. I don't care. The moment they leave, you are free to walk into the sun. Be the heaviest stone, forgiving yourself. For people over 50, the biggest enemy is often not outside, it's in the mirror. Regret. If only I had taken that job. If only I hadn't married that person. If only I had spent more time with my children. If only I had saved more money. This is the most toxic form of resentment. It is autoimmune. You are judging your past self with the wisdom you have today for decisions you made yesterday with the ignorance you had then. That is unfair. You couldn't know what you know now. You did the best you could with the emotional tools and the level of consciousness you had at that moment. You were literally another person. Punishing your past self is abusing an innocent. Listen to me. Regret is a waste of quantum energy. You cannot change the past, but you can ruin the present by feeling guilty. You have to make peace with your history. You have to embrace that young person you were. Tell them, thank you for surviving. Thank you for making mistakes so I could learn. I forgive you for not knowing more. If you don't forgive yourself, your subconscious will interpret that you deserve punishment. And if it believes you deserve punishment, it will block any attempt to win or be healthy. Amnesty starts at home. The cord-cutting technique, practical exercise. Let's take action. We need a ritual so your brain understands the cut is real. The subconscious mind loves symbols. Do this today in a moment of solitude. Visualization. Sit down, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. Visualize the person or situation you have a conflict with sitting in front of you. The cord. Visualize a thick, dark cable coming out of your solar plexus, stomach, and connecting to their solar plexus. See your light and golden energy flowing through that cable and feeding that person. See how they grow strong at the expense of your own vitality. The cut. Visualize in your dominant hand a giant pair of golden scissors or a sword of blue light. Feel the weight of the tool. It is the tool of your sovereign will. Say out loud, today I reclaim my energy. Today I return what is yours. And I take what is mine. I release you and I release myself. It is over. The recovery. With a physical movement of your hand, cut the imaginary cable. See the cable fall. See the end that remained in you heal instantly. Now, inhale deeply. Visualize all the energy you had given away returning to you as a torrent of light. Feel it fill your body. That person fades away. You are complete. It be the purgatory of family, inheritances and debts. I must touch a sensitive point for your generation. inheritances, family loans, and caring for the elderly. This is where the hardest grudges fester. My brother kept the house. I cared for Mom alone. I lent money to my son and he didn't return it. Look at these situations with mathematical coldness. How much is that house worth? $100,000? $200,000? Now ask yourself, how much is your peace of mind worth for the last 10 years of your life? How much is it worth to not have cancer caused by rage? I assure you, your health is worth more than half that house. Sometimes losing money is winning life. If fighting for an inheritance will cost you your soul, give them the house. Let them choke on it. Buy your freedom. You are a wealth generator. If you free yourself from grudge, you can generate more money than what you are fighting over. But if you stay trapped in the lawsuit, you lose the money and your life. 8. The fertile void, filling the space. When you truly forgive, something strange happens. You feel empty. For years, hate occupied a huge space in your mind. It was your companion. You had daily conversations with your imaginary enemy. Now that it's gone, there is silence. At first, the silence is scary. The temptation is to find another enemy. Don't do it. That void is sacred ground. It is free space on your hard drive. Now you can use that space to design your future. Instead of thinking about your ex, think about your new business. Instead of your brother, think about your trip to Italy. Fill the void with creation, not reaction. The energy you use to keep your grudges afloat is the same energy you need to rejuvenate your cells and attract money. Now it is available to you. It is high-octane gasoline. Use it to accelerate. Chapter 4, Summary. Hate is an investment. Stop investing in those who hurt you. Biology. Resentment inflames and ages. Forgiveness rejuvenates. Quantum cut. Use visualization to break the entanglement. Self-forgiveness. You did what you could. Free yourself from guilt. Cost benefit. Your peace is worth more than being right or winning the case. Now that we have recovered your energy, we face a different obstacle. You have energy, potential money, and health in progress. But there is a mask you've been wearing for 40 years. A mask that is very heavy. The role of responsible parent or faithful employee. That mask is suffocating you. To enter the best half of your life, you must kill the character so the being can be born. Chapter 4. Forgiveness as energy savings. Cut the cables. Imagine logging into your online bank account. You check your transactions and discover a monthly automatic transfer that you didn't authorize. It is a massive sum, let's say 30% of your total income. That money is going to an unknown account. It just vanishes. You are alarmed. You call the bank shouting, demanding to know who is stealing from you. The banker tells you, yes, sir, you authorized that transfer 20 years ago. It is the monthly payment you send to your ex-partner who cheated you, or that ex-spouse who left you. You signed a contract to send them 30% of your vital energy every single day until the day you die. You would say that is absolute madness. You would say you would never give your money to someone who hurt you. And yet, that is exactly what you are doing with your most valuable resource. Your energy. Welcome to Chapter 4. Today, we are going to talk about energy economics. At 20, you have so much energy that you can afford to waste it on hating and holding grudges. But at 50, 60, or 80 years old, your vital energy, your chi, your prana, is a finite and precious resource. You need it to regenerate your organs, to create your new business, and to simply enjoy your life. You don't have a single drop to spare, yet most mature people have massive leaks in their tanks. They are connected by invisible cables to people and events from the past that drain their life away. I am not here to give you a moral lecture. I am not a priest telling you to forgive because it's the right thing to do. I am a quantum architect telling you that you must forgive out of pure, intelligent selfishness. Forgiveness is the only way to stop financing your enemies and recover your capital to invest it back into yourself. By releasing the past, you reclaim the power that belongs to you in the present. It is time to audit your energy and cut the cords that no longer serve your growth or your peace. Quantum entanglement, the invisible cable. Quantum physics speaks of entanglement. Two particles that have interacted once remain connected at a distance, no matter how far apart they are. If one changes, the other reacts instantly. Human relationships work the same way. When you hold a strong emotional charge towards someone, love or hate, you create a quantum cable. Information and energy flow through that cable. If you love someone, you send them nourishing energy. But if you hate someone or hold a grudge, you also send them energy. Hate is a very intense form of attention. Think about it. That person who offended you in 1995. You wake up today, and while you're showering, you remember them. You start arguing with them mentally. You recreate the scene. You feel the indignation. Your heart races. What are you doing? You are taking your fresh energy from today, energy that could heal your body, and you are packaging it and sending it through that invisible cable. Literally, you are feeding your enemy. You are giving them strength and relevance. You keep them alive in your energetic field. That person might not even remember you. They might be happy on a beach somewhere while you are still paying the cable bill. Is that smart? At your age, maintaining a resentment is an act of financial and biological sabotage. It is like leaving the lights on in a house in a country where electricity costs gold. You must cut the cable, not for them, but for you. When you cut the cable, forgive. The energy stops flowing toward them and returns to you like a boomerang. You feel stronger, more lucid and younger. This is the energy we need for your future. The inflammation of the soul, the biology of grudge. Let's move from quantum physics to hard biology. Do you know what resentment is at a cellular level? It is chronic inflammation. When you recall an offense, your reptilian brain doesn't know it happened 20 years ago. It thinks it's happening now. It activates the fight or flight response. It releases cortisol and adrenaline. It tightens your muscles and raises your blood pressure. It prepares your body for an attack that never arrives. If you do this every day for decades, the system burns out. Cortisol corrodes your arteries, and your immune system becomes exhausted from fighting ghosts. Modern medicine is starting to see a direct correlation between accumulated resentment and diseases like cancer, arthritis, and autoimmune disorders. The body attacks itself because the mind is in a state of war. It is useless to paint the facade of the house if the foundation is on fire. Forgiveness is the most powerful anti-inflammatory on the market. It tells your body, the war is over, lower your weapons, there is no more danger. Only when the body receives that ceasefire signal can it dedicate its energy to repairing tissues and rejuvenating itself. Forgiveness is a matter of biological survival. The third, the trap of being right. Why is it so hard to let go? If it hurts us and makes us sick, why do we cling to a grudge as if it were a treasure? Because of the ego. The ego prefers being right over being happy. The ego has a story. I am the victim. He was the bad guy. If I forgive, I am saying what he did was okay. This is the death trap of maturity. Many people build their entire identity around their wounds. I am the woman who was abandoned. I am the man who was cheated by his partner. That story gives them a topic of conversation and an excuse for not succeeding now. If you forgive, you have to renounce that story. You have to give up being the victim, and that is terrifying. Because if you are no longer the victim, then you are the one responsible for your life from here on out. You must choose today. On one side of the scale, being right. On the other, energy, health, future, and freedom. You cannot have both. If you choose freedom, you must drop the need for the other person to recognize their mistake. Most people who hurt you will never apologize. Some are dead. Others are narcissists incapable of seeing it. Do not wait for the apology. The apology is irrelevant. Cut the cable yourself. Be radical forgiveness, releasing, not condemning. Let's clarify what forgiveness is, because there is much confusion. Forgiveness is not going to dinner with your abuser, telling them you love them, forgetting what happened, that would be foolish, or saying it wasn't a big deal. Forgiveness is remembering the fact without the destructive emotional charge. It is saying, this happened, it was unfair, but it is over. I refuse to keep suffering for it today. It is withdrawing the sentence and ceasing to be the judge who guards the prisoner. Imagine you have your enemy locked in a cell in the basement of your mind. You are the jailer. You think you are punishing them, but to guard them, you have to sit in front of that cell 24 hours a day. You are also a prisoner. You can't go out and live because you have to watch the inmate. Forgiving is opening the door and saying, go. I don't want you here. I don't care. The moment they leave, you are free to walk into the sun. Be the heaviest stone, forgiving yourself. For people over 50, the biggest enemy is often not outside, it's in the mirror. Regret. If only I had taken that job. If only I hadn't married that person. If only I had spent more time with my children. If only I had saved more money. This is the most toxic form of resentment. It is autoimmune. You are judging your past self with the wisdom you have today for decisions you made yesterday with the ignorance you had then. That is unfair. You couldn't know what you know now. You did the best you could with the emotional tools and the level of consciousness you had at that moment. You were literally another person. Punishing your past self is abusing an innocent. Listen to me. Regret is a waste of quantum energy. You cannot change the past, but you can ruin the present by feeling guilty. You have to make peace with your history. You have to embrace that young person you were. Tell them, thank you for surviving. Thank you for making mistakes so I could learn. I forgive you for not knowing more. If you don't forgive yourself, your subconscious will interpret that you deserve punishment. And if it believes you deserve punishment, it will block any attempt to win or be healthy. Amnesty starts at home. The cord-cutting technique, practical exercise. Let's take action. We need a ritual so your brain understands the cut is real. The subconscious mind loves symbols. Do this today in a moment of solitude. Visualization. Sit down, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. Visualize the person or situation you have a conflict with sitting in front of you. The cord. Visualize a thick, dark cable coming out of your solar plexus, stomach, and connecting to their solar plexus. See your light and golden energy flowing through that cable and feeding that person. See how they grow strong at the expense of your own vitality. The cut. Visualize in your dominant hand a giant pair of golden scissors or a sword of blue light. Feel the weight of the tool. It is the tool of your sovereign will. Say out loud, today I reclaim my energy. Today I return what is yours, and I take what is mine. I release you and I release myself. It is over. The recovery. With a physical movement of your hand, cut the imaginary cable. See the cable fall. See the end that remained in you heal instantly. Now, inhale deeply. Visualize all the energy you had given away returning to you as a torrent of light. Feel it fill your body. That person fades away. You are complete. It be the purgatory of family, inheritances and debts. I must touch a sensitive point for your generation. Inheritances, family loans, and caring for the elderly. This is where the hardest grudges fester. My brother kept the house. I cared for Mom alone. I lent money to my son and he didn't return it. Look at these situations with mathematical coldness. How much is that house worth? $100,000? $200,000? Now ask yourself, how much is your peace of mind worth for the last 10 years of your life? How much is it worth to not have cancer caused by rage? I assure you, your health is worth more than half that house. Sometimes losing money is winning life. If fighting for an inheritance will cost you your soul, give them the house. Let them choke on it. Buy your freedom. You are a wealth generator. If you free yourself from grudge, you can generate more money than what you are fighting over. But if you stay trapped in the lawsuit, you lose the money and your life. 8. The fertile void, filling the space. When you truly forgive, something strange happens. You feel empty. For years, hate occupied a huge space in your mind. It was your companion. You had daily conversations with your imaginary enemy. Now that it's gone, there is silence. At first, the silence is scary. The temptation is to find another enemy. Don't do it. That void is sacred ground. It is free space on your hard drive. Now you can use that space to design your future. Instead of thinking about your ex, think about your new business. Instead of your brother, think about your trip to Italy. Fill the void with creation, not reaction. The energy you use to keep your grudges afloat is the same energy you need to rejuvenate your cells and attract money. Now it is available to you. It is high-octane gasoline. Use it to accelerate. Chapter 4, Summary. Hate is an investment. Stop investing in those who hurt you. Biology. Resentment inflames and ages. Forgiveness rejuvenates. Quantum cut. Use visualization to break the entanglement. Self-forgiveness. You did what you could. Free yourself from guilt. Cost benefit. Your peace is worth more than being right or winning the case. Now that we have recovered your energy, we face a different obstacle. You have energy, potential money, and health in progress. But there is a mask you've been wearing for 40 years. A mask that is very heavy. The role of responsible parent or faithful employee. That mask is suffocating you. To enter the best half of your life, you must kill the character so the being can be born. Chapter 6. Intuition over logic, changing the operating system. Have you ever had that gut feeling that you shouldn't get on that plane, or that you shouldn't sign that contract, or that you should call that person right now? And then your logical mind intervened. Your logical mind, in its suit and tie, told you, "Don't be ridiculous. There is no proof. The numbers say it's safe. Don't call now. You'll be a nuisance." You obeyed logic. You ignored your gut. And sometime later you realized with horror that your gut was right. The contract was a disaster. The person urgently needed your call. The plane had issues, and you told yourself the saddest phrase in the human vocabulary. I knew it. Something was telling me that something is not a superstition. It is not magic. It is your most sophisticated navigation system. It is your quantum technology. During the first half of your life, school and society trained you to worship the god of logic. They told you that everything must be measurable, reasonable, and justifiable. They taught you to use the rational brain for everything today. But the rational brain has a serious flaw. It can only process data from the past. Logic only works with what you already know. It cannot predict the unknown. Now that you have passed the barrier of 40 or 50, your logical processor is full. It is saturated with data, fears, and common sense. It has become slow in this world now. If you try to solve the problems of your second life using only logic, you will feel exhausted, confused, and anxious. It is like trying to run modern artificial intelligence software on a 1995 computer. The system crashes. Welcome to Chapter 6. Today we are updating your operating system for the new reality ahead. We are going to demote logic from the position of general manager to the position of secretary, and we are going to promote intuition to the position of CEO. Because in a quantum world, where everything is vibration and probability, the one who thinks too much loses. The one who feels fast wins the game today. Is the limit of the library, the old processor. Imagine that your logical mind is an immense library. In it are archived all the books of what you have lived, learned, and read. When you have to make a decision, should I invest? Should I move? Should I have surgery? Your librarian, logic, runs through the aisles looking for references from your past experiences today. He looks in the book of my failures of 1990. He looks in the book of what the news says. He looks in the book of what my neighbor thinks. The librarian returns sweating with a pile of old papers and tells you, according to our historical records, this is risky, better do nothing. The problem is, the library is closed. It has no internet connection. It only has old information. Logic is excellent for organizing what already happened, but it is terrible for navigating what is coming. The future is uncertain, chaotic, and new. There are no books written about it in your mental library. Therefore, you enter paralysis by analysis now. You turn things over and over. You make lists of pros and cons. You ask 10 different people for advice, and you end up more confused than at the beginning. That mental exhaustion you feel is not from thinking a lot. It is from using the wrong tool. You are trying to open a can with a spoon. You break your hand today. 2. The quantum cloud, the new processor. Intuition, on the other hand, is not a library. It is a Wi-Fi antenna. It doesn't look for information inside your skull. It downloads it from the cloud. In quantum physics, there is the concept of the unified field, an ocean of information where past, present, and future exist simultaneously in this dimension now. Your intuition is your direct connection to that field. When you have a hunch, it's not that your brain processed data very fast. It's that your antenna caught a signal from the future. It is a non-local information download. Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, and Nikola Tesla all confessed their great ideas came from intuition. Logic came later to explain what intuition had already seen. At your age, you have a huge biological advantage. Your intuitive hardware is more mature. You have lived long enough to recognize invisible patterns. What young people call luck, you call instinct. But you have to dare to use it in your life today. You have to dare to say, I don't know why, I have no logical proof, but I know I have to do this. That irrational certainty is the voice of God, or your higher self, speaking to you without filters. By trusting this inner resonance, you bypass the limitations of your history and align with the highest possibilities now. 3. The second brain, the biology of the gut. This is not just esotericism, it is hard biology. Science has discovered that you have neurons in your heart, 40,000, and in your gut, 100 million. Your digestive system is literally a second brain, and it is connected to the head brain by the vagus nerve. This second brain feels before the head thinks today. When you walk into a room and feel a bad vibe, or when you meet someone and your stomach tightens even though the person is smiling, those are your intestinal neurons detecting microsignals and electromagnetic frequencies that your conscious mind ignores. Your body is a high-tech radar for your survival now. But we have been educated to silence it. We take antacids to quiet the stomach. We take anti-anxiety meds to quiet the heart. We ignore the physical signals of danger or opportunity. From today on, your body is your compass. If a decision makes your body expand and feel light, it is a yes for you today. If a decision makes your body contract, a knot in your throat, tight shoulders, an upset stomach, it is a no. No matter how logical the offer looks on paper, if the gut says no, it is no. Your body never lies. Your mind lies all the time. It tells stories, justifies, and rationalizes. The body is the truth. Fear versus intuition, the great discernment. Here comes the million-dollar question. How do I know if it is my intuition warning me or if it is my fear and past traumas screaming? It is vital to distinguish them because fear paralyzes you while intuition protects you. Fortunately, they have very different energetic signatures in your system now. Fear, voice loud, repetitive, hysterical. It screams in your head, "Watch out, you'll be ruined." Location, felt in the head, racing thoughts, or upper chest, shallow anxiety. Emotion, panic, agitation, desperate urgency. Content, always about what could go wrong. It is catastrophic. Intuition, voice calm, firm, subtle. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It is a silent certainty. Don't go. Call now. Location, felt in the stomach, gut, or deep heart. Emotion, calm, clarity, neutrality. Even if it warns of danger, it gives you coldness and focus. Content, a direct instruction. It doesn't explain why, it simply gives the command. If you are debating mentally for hours, that is fear logic. Intuition does not debate. Intuition knows. It is a flash of lightning in the dark. When you feel that lightning, do not question it. Act. Your internal guidance system is far more reliable than the noisy warnings of your conditioned mind today. The speed of trust, the 5-second rule. The universe loves speed. Intuition is a radio signal that lasts a short time. If you don't capture it, it vanishes or gets distorted by the interference of logic. There is a golden rule. When you have a hunch, act in the next 5 seconds. It doesn't mean you have to sell your house in 5 seconds today. It means you have to do something physical to anchor that intuition. Write the idea, make the call, send the email, buy the ticket. If you wait more than 5 seconds, your logical mind, the fearful librarian, will wake up and say, "Wait, are you crazy? What if it goes wrong?" And it will kill the idea now. Logic is the killer of dreams. Intuition is the mother of invention. You, at your age, no longer have time to doubt for months. Doubt is an energy leak. Doubt ages you. Making fast decisions rejuvenates you. It makes you feel alive, dangerous, and dynamic. Trusting your first impression is the key to mastery. Mistakenly following your intuition is 1,000 times better than being right by following the logic of others and living a grey life. Besides, intuition is rarely wrong. When we look back at our errors, we almost always find we didn't follow our first impression. We followed fear. Follow the impulse today. By uninstalling what they will say. External validation. The greatest enemy of your intuitive system is the need for external approval. Logic seeks consensus. If everyone does it, it must be right. Intuition is solitary. It will often ask you to go against the herd. At 20, going against the herd is terrifying because we need to belong in our social group today. At 50 or 60, going with the herd is deadly because the herd is heading to the slaughterhouse, passive retirement, illness, complaint. You have to be willing to look crazy in the eyes of those around you. When intuition says, sell the big house and move to the beach, others will call it a bad investment now. They use the logic of the past. You use information from the future where you will be happy. If you seek external validation for your hunches, you will kill them. Intuition is a private message between you and God. It is not a WhatsApp group message. Do not put it to a vote. Trust your inner vision. Keep your plans secret during the gestation phase. Protect the flame from the winds of others' opinions. By maintaining your own counsel, you ensure that the delicate signal of intuition is not drowned out by the noise of those who cannot see what you are currently perceiving in your own life today. 7. Practice cleaning the channel silence. Why do many people say, I don't have intuition? It's not that they don't have it, it's that there is too much noise. If your radio is tuned to static at full volume, worries, news, gossip, TV, you cannot hear the soft music of intuition. You need silence. But I don't just mean acoustic silence today. I mean mental silence. The new operating system needs to restart daily. Dedicate 10 minutes a day to doing nothing. No complicated mantras, just sitting and looking at a wall or a tree. No phone, no music. Let the mud of your mind settle. In that space of apparent boredom, the Wi-Fi connects now. The best ideas will come in the shower, or walking the dog, or washing dishes. Moments when the logical mind is distracted. Always have a notebook handy. Those ideas are pure gold. They are the answers to the prayers you made. The universe won't send a check. It will send an idea. Follow it today. We beat the coin toss biofeedback trick. I'm going to teach you a hacker trick for when you are blocked between two options, A and B, and your mind won't leave you in peace. Take a coin. Assign heads to option A and tails to option B. Toss the coin into the air. Here is the trick. It doesn't matter what the coin shows now. What matters is how you feel while the coin is in the air. In that fraction of a second, your logical mind shuts down and your real desire comes to light. While the coin spins, you will discover you are internally praying, heads, please, or if it lands tails, you feel immediate disappointment today. That instantaneous reaction is your intuition. Ignore the coin, follow the reaction. You already knew what you wanted before tossing the coin. You just needed to trick your logical brain into shutting up so you could see it. This simple bypass allows your true self to emerge from behind the curtain of doubt. My synchronism is a road sign. When you start living from intuition, the quantum operating system, life changes texture. It stops being an uphill struggle. Synchronicities start to happen. You think of someone and they call. You need a book and you find it. You have a doubt and a song on the radio answers it for you today. Carl Jung called this synchronicity. I call it God's winks. They are the traffic signs of the universe confirming you're doing well, you're connected, keep going this way. Logic cannot explain coincidences. It dismisses them as chance. But you know there is no such thing as chance in this world now. When you see a synchronicity, smile and give thanks. The more you thank them, the more they occur. It is the confirmation that your new software is installed and functioning perfectly. You are now navigating with a superior map, and the entire universe is acting as your co-pilot in this magnificent journey. Chapter 6 Summary. Obsolete logic. Your rational mind only knows the past. It's useless for creating a future. Divine Wi-Fi. Intuition is information from the future downloaded now. Second brain. Your gut knows before your head. If it feels bad there, it is a no. Fear versus intuition. Fear screams and agitates. Intuition whispers and calms. We've second rule. Act fast before doubt kills the signal. Privacy. Do not put your hunches to a popular vote. We have updated the system. Now you have the engine, the energy, and the navigation. But there is one final piece of the puzzle. You are not an island. You live in a world with other people. And those people are currently the biggest mirror of your reality. Chapter 7. Environment is destiny, social purge. Imagine you have a goldfish. The fish is sick. It swims sideways, its scales are dull, and it barely eats. You take it out of the tank, take it to the best veterinarian, give it the best medicine, and speak to it with love. The fish improves a little. It looks stronger. And then you put it back into the same old tank today. A tank where the water is dirty, full of toxic algae without oxygen, and where other fish are fighting and biting each other. What will happen to your healed fish? In a matter of hours it will get sick again. And this time it will die. You, dear listener, are that fish in your own life now. We have spent 6 chapters taking you out of the tank, cleaning your mind, giving you quantum medicine, and teaching you how to swim again. But if now, with your fragile and newborn new self, you return to the same toxic environment as always, you have no chance. The environment always wins over the will, always today. If you sit again at the same table with people who only talk about illnesses, if you tolerate the passive-aggressive criticisms of your family, If you consume news of the end of the world, you will fail. Today we talk about the most painful and brave decision of your second half of life, the social purge now. The biology of imitation, mirror neurons, is not mysticism, it is neuroscience. In the 90s, mirror neurons were discovered. They are brain cells that fire when you see someone do or feel something. If you see someone cry, your mirror neurons simulate sadness in your own brain. If you see someone yawn, you yawn. We are herd beings today. We are designed to synchronize with the tribe to survive. This was great in prehistory, to escape lions. But today, at 50 or 60, it is a death trap. If your tribe, friends, partner, colleagues, lives in fear, complaint, and scarcity, your brain synchronizes with mediocrity. Your environment is negative for you now. It is like trying to keep a fire burning under a waterfall. You may have the intention to be positive, but if your environment bombards you with negativity, your flame will go out. Limbic resonance is real. You end up having the health, income, and limiting beliefs of the 5 people you spend the most time with today. Look around you right now. Do you like what you see in them? Because that is scientifically your future. If you do not like it, you have to get out of the tank. You must find a new pond where the water is clear and the other fish are swimming toward growth and light now. 2. The law of average, mathematics of destiny. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Let's do the audit. Be brutally honest. Think of the 5 people you interact with most. Do they talk about ideas and projects or people and problems? Do they celebrate you or throw sarcastic comments today? Do they care for their health or mock you if you order a salad? Do they have dreams for the future or only nostalgia for the past? If your list is full of energy vampires, professional victims, and critical judges, you are in danger. You are trying to launch a rocket with 5 anchors tied to the tail now. At your age, you no longer have the nuclear energy required to drag 5 people uphill. It is hard to say, but you have to cut the rope. Either they go up or you let go. You cannot save someone who does not want to be saved. If you try while you are drowning, both will sink today. 3. The crab bucket, friend sabotage. Do you know the metaphor of the crabs? If you put 1 crab in a bucket, it will easily climb out. If you put many, none will get out. When one tries to climb, the others grab its legs and pull it down. They don't do it out of malice, but out of an instinct for equality in the group now. In human groups, the same happens. When you start to change, get fit, start a business, forgive, your environment doesn't applaud, it gets scared. Your change is a mirror showing their own stagnation. They will try to sabotage you so you return to the normal level. They will call you stuck up or different today. They want the old you because that version was comfortable for them. It validated their miseries. The new you makes them uncomfortable. You must be prepared to kick free from many claws. Sometimes this means leaving friends of 30 years. It hurts, but staying in the bucket until it boils hurts more now. V. Solitude as detox, the hyperbaric chamber. This is where most fail. The fear of loneliness after age 50 is enormous. People tolerate abuse and mediocrity just to avoid being alone. I want you to reframe solitude. It is not being alone. It is being in quarantine. When you leave a toxic environment, you need time to detoxify your soul today. You need silence to hear your own voice, which has been drowned out by the noise of others. Solitude is your hyperbaric chamber. It is where you heal. It is better to spend 6 months alone, reading and walking in nature, than 1 more afternoon listening to the same old complaints now. In that social void, you will raise your vibration. Since the universe abhors a vacuum, new people will soon appear. People who vibrate at your new frequency. Solar people, not black holes. But for the new to enter, the old must leave. You cannot fill a cup that is already full of vinegar today. The family, the final challenge. Friends can be changed. But what about family? What if the crab pulling you down is your mother, sibling, or adult child? You cannot divorce a child, but you can redefine the relationship. If you have toxic relatives, you must apply the law of emotional distance in your life now. Reduce exposure time. If you saw them every Sunday and ended up sick, see them once a month. Prohibit toxic topics. Mom, if we talk about illnesses, I'm going to leave. And follow through. Visualize an armored glass between you and them. Their negative energy hits the glass and slides off. It doesn't enter today. Do not try to change them. That is violence. Let them be, but protect yourself. You are not the savior of your family. You are the example. And the best example is being happy, even if it is from a distance. Blood makes you related, but only loyalty makes you family. Honor the bonds of the soul now. VC, the digital environment. I consume trash. Environment is not just people. Today, the most dangerous environment is in your pocket, your cell phone. If you wake up and read news of wars and crises, you have just ingested a dose of psychic poison. Your mirror neurons have activated with horror. Your day is already contaminated today. At your age, you need to protect your mind like the Garden of Versailles. You wouldn't let someone throw trash in your living room. Why let the news throw trash in your brain? Do a radical digital cleanse. Stop following accounts that make you feel bad, envious, or afraid in your world now. Leave WhatsApp groups that only send fear or derogatory jokes. Fill your eyes with beauty. Follow accounts of art, nature, and spirituality. What enters through your eyes becomes the raw material for your thoughts. You are the curator of your mental museum. Fire the one who hangs ugly paintings today. 7th, the sanctuary. Your house is your temple. Your home should be the place where you recharge, not where you stress. Look at your house right now. Are there objects that bring bad memories? Is there clutter? Are there broken things? Physical clutter is stagnant mental clutter. Broken things are decreed poverty for your subconscious mind today. Dedicate this weekend to turning your house into a sanctuary. Throw away what is useless. Buy fresh flowers. Put on soft music. Your house should smell of peace. When you walk in, you should feel the world stop and that you enter a sacred zone. This will raise your vibration automatically now. It's hard to be depressed in a bright, orderly house full of life. It is hard to be prosperous in a dark, dirty house full of old junk. Your physical environment is the extension of your body. Take care of it, and it will take care of your spirit, providing the foundation for your new reality today. Awade, designing the new ecosystem, the chosen tribe. Once you have done the purge, the empty space remains. Now it is time to design. Who do you want to spend the last 30 or 40 years of your life with? Look for life masters. Look for people who have what you want. If you want health, join the hikers, not those who sit and drink beer now. If you want peace, join those who meditate, not those who debate politics. If you want money, join those who invest, not those who complain about the government. Do not be afraid to be the clueless one in the new group. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room today. Seek rooms where you are the apprentice. That will rejuvenate you. Curiosity is the elixir of youth. And remember, to attract interesting people, you must be interesting. No one wants to be around a cranky elder. Everyone wants to be around a vibrant adult with projects and a smile. Become that person now. Want permission to leave without guilt. I want to close this chapter by giving you something you may have been waiting for your whole life. Permission. You have permission to leave the party if you no longer like the music. You have permission to stop answering the phone. You have permission to change your mind and your friends today. You have permission to disappoint people who only liked you for what you did for them. You have permission to be happy even if others choose to be miserable. Loyalty to a toxic past is treason to your future. Do not sacrifice your peace on the altar of custom. You are the guardian of your frequency now. Your frequency is your treasure. Defend it with sword and shield. By choosing your company wisely, you ensure that the seeds you have planted in previous chapters can finally bloom in the right climate. Your environment is the soil. Make sure it is rich and full of life for the masterpiece you are creating today. Chapter 8. The Vibrational Legacy, What You Leave Behind. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your own funeral. I know it's uncomfortable, but do it. Imagine the ceremony is over. The people have left. The flowers are wilting. The notary has read the will. The house, the car, the jewelry, and the money have been distributed. Everything material has changed hands in a single afternoon today. Now the crucial question: what remains of you on earth when you no longer have a body or possessions? Most people believe their legacy is what they leave, material goods. But the physics of the miracle teaches us that your true legacy is what you transmit. Vibratory information. You are a transmission antenna emitting a signal now. That signal, your fears, your loves, your grudges, your unfulfilled hopes, has been recorded in the quantum field of your family. It has been engraved in the biology of your children and grandchildren. If you die full of fear and resentment, your descendants will inherit it. They will carry it in their blood, even if you never told them today. Welcome to Chapter 8. Today, we talk about the greatest responsibility of the second half of life. It's not about settling their lives financially. It's about leaving them with a clean soul. We will discover how epigenetics confirms that healing yourself is healing 7 generations behind and ahead of you. You are the link now. And the relay race, epigenetics of trauma. Let's talk about mice and cherry blossoms. In a famous experiment, scientists exposed male mice to the smell of cherry blossoms while giving them a small electric shock. The mice learned to terrify the smell. Then, these mice had children. The children were never exposed to shocks, yet they trembled at the smell of the blossom today. How is this possible? The trauma was not in the brain, it was in the DNA. The information was recorded in the genetic switch of the sperm and passed to the next generation as a survival tool. Now, apply this to your family. If your grandfather lived through war and hunger, you likely have irrational anxiety about money today. If your mother was abandoned and lived with a broken heart, you likely have an inexplicable distrust toward others. You have inherited the ghosts of your ancestors. And here is the urgent part for you. You are passing your own ghosts to the next generation right now. They don't listen to your words. They copy your frequency now. Healing is not a selfish act. It is an act of family ecological cleaning. If you heal your fear today and learn to be happy despite everything, you are rewriting the genetic code of your lineage. You are turning off the trauma switch so that your grandchildren are born free. You are the one who stops the cycle of pain today. The burden of the unlived life. Carl Jung said, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of its parents." Think about it. How many times have you heard, "I sacrificed myself for my children. I left my dreams so they could have everything"? It sounds noble, but energetically it is a death trap. When you renounce your happiness, you repress it today. That repressed frustration becomes a karmic debt passed to your children. Unconsciously, you are telling them, "I didn't live my life, so now you have the obligation to live yours and mine." This pressure crushes them and creates guilt. They feel they owe us their lives. If you want to free your children, live. Be happy at 60 or 80. Dare to spend your money on yourself. Dare to travel and fall in love. When your children see you taking care of your own happiness, they are freed from the obligation to make you happy. They sigh in relief. "Mom is fine. I can live my life without guilt." The best gift is the example of a life fully lived until the last breath now. They're done the chain breaker, the black sheep. In almost every family there is a black sheep, the one who doesn't follow the rules, the one who divorces when they shouldn't, the one who leaves a secure job to be an artist. If you are listening to this audiobook, you are likely that black sheep, or as I like to call it, the rainbow sheep. You are the solution to the clan today. You are the soul that volunteered to say, enough. Enough alcoholism, enough poverty, and enough submissiveness in this family. You have come to break the pattern. That is why your life has been difficult. Your mission was not to repeat history, but to change it. Every time you forgive instead of seeking revenge, you break a link now. Every time you invest in health instead of resigning to illness, you open a new neural path for your clan. Do not feel guilty for being different. Celebrate it. You are the evolution portal of your blood. Your ancestors are now applauding you from the other side because you are doing the work they didn't dare to do in their time today. IV. Material versus spiritual inheritance. We live obsessed with leaving something. Houses, land, accounts. We see families destroy themselves over a poorly managed inheritance. Do you know why? Because the parents left material goods, condensed energy, but did not leave spiritual maturity. It's like leaving a Ferrari to a 10-year-old. They will kill themselves now. If you leave money, but also a belief in scarcity, the money will vanish or cause pain. If you leave debts, but a belief in resilience and abundance, they will create their own fortune. Before worrying about your legal will, worry about your vibrational will. What atmosphere do you leave in your home? What will they feel later today? When you are gone and your children think of you, will they feel a knot in their stomach or an expansion in their chest? That feeling is your true immortality. You will live in them as an internal voice. Make sure that voice is kind. Make sure it says, "You can do it. I trust you." Change your internal critic today to save them. V. Cleaning upward, honoring parents. To clean the river downstream, children, you must clean it upstream, parents. Many reach maturity with pending accounts with their parents. We complain about what they didn't give us. But as long as you judge your parents, you are tied to repeating their mistakes. What you resist persists. You copy what you focus on today. The only way to be free is through radical honor. Honoring doesn't mean agreeing or obeying. It means recognizing they were the vehicle for life. Life is such a great gift that even if they were the worst people, passing life to you is enough to be in eternal debt. They were victims of other victims, wounded children now. Imagine your parents behind you, and behind them, your grandparents. An endless line of ancestors. Thousands had to struggle, love, and give birth so you could be here today. You are the spearhead of thousands of years of survival. Say, "Thank you for life. I take it at the price it cost you." Feel the strength of a legion today. V. The ethical will, practical exercise. I propose a task that will change how your family remembers you, the ethical will. It is a letter written not to distribute goods, but to distribute values. Write a letter or record a video for your loved ones. Not to be read when you die, but to give to them now, or to save for a very special moment in their lives today. In that letter, don't talk about money. Talk about your mistakes and what you learned from them. Talk about your values, what really mattered in the end. Talk about your love and give them explicit permission to be happy and to surpass you. You have my blessing to fly higher than I could ever see. This is true medicine now. This letter is worth more than any life insurance. It heals wounds they didn't even know they had. Do it now. Don't wait to be in a hospital. Do it while you have lucidity and strength. Your words will become the light that guides them when the night feels too dark. This is the most sacred document you will ever write today. 7th, the butterfly effect, your impact on the world. Finally, your legacy is not just your biological family. It is your impact on the human network. By raising your frequency, you become a light node. A single person vibrating in love or peace offsets the low vibration of thousands living in fear. Your presence in a supermarket elevates the vibration of everyone in line now. As you age and lose the ability to do physical things, you gain the ability to be a presence. Become the elder whose mere presence calms the room. Be the grandparent who listens. Be the neighbor who smiles. This is a public service of incalculable value. In a hysterical world, your calm is a revolutionary act today. But death is not the end, it is a move. To leave a good legacy, you must lose the fear of death. If you live terrified of the end, you transmit terror. If you see death as a graduation, you transmit hope. Metaphysics tells us that energy is only transformed. You are not going to disappear. You are going to change states. You will leave the spacesuit today. Teach your people, with your attitude, that death is certain and part of life, just as autumn is part of the year. If you die with serenity, you give your children peace regarding their own mortality. It is the last and greatest lesson a parent can give. How to leave with dignity and trust. You are just transforming now. Chapter 8 Summary. You are an antenna. You transmit fears or loves to your DNA. Break the chain. If you heal, your grandchildren won't carry your traumas. Lived life. Don't sacrifice yourself. Your happiness is their map. Rainbow Sheep, being different is your mission to heal the clan. Ethical will, leave words of love and values, not just things. We have cleaned the past, healed the body, and prepared the legacy. Now we face the last enemy, the one that says there is no more time, the fear of the future. The answer lies in a quantum paradox. Time does not exist. In the next chapter, we will learn to live in the only place where life is real, the eternal now today. Chapter 9, The Eternal Now, Overcoming the Anxiety of Time. Look at a calendar. Look at the year we are in. Now ask yourself the question we all ask in silence when Christmas or a birthday arrives. Where did the last 10 years go? It seems like yesterday when we celebrated the turn of the millennium. It seems like yesterday when your children were babies, yet the mirror says otherwise today. You have the terrifying feeling that time is accelerating, that life is a roll of toilet paper that spins faster as it nears the end. This generates a constant anxiety that tightens your chest. I haven't done enough. I'm running out of time. It's too late to start. The future scares me. This anxiety is the biggest thief in history now. It is stealing the only thing you truly possess. This instant, you live with one foot in the nostalgia of the past and the other in the terror of the future. While performing this painful split, you lose the flavor of today's coffee by worrying about tomorrow's pension. You miss today's smile by lamenting yesterday's argument in your life. Welcome to Chapter 10. Today we stop the train. We will use quantum physics to prove that time is a persistent illusion. We will learn to leave horizontal time, the rat race toward death, and enter vertical time, the depth of the eternal moment. In the now, it is always the perfect hour. You are never late to your own life today. The trap of routine, why time flies. First, let's explain why time flies. It is neurobiology. Your brain measures time based on the amount of new information it processes. As a child, a summer lasted forever because everything was new. Your brain was recording thousands of frames per second. Much information equals much subjective time. You felt every second of the day today. But at 40, 50, or 60, you have seen almost everything. You know how coffee tastes and how to drive to work. Your brain stops recording. It enters power-saving mode. It deletes repetitive days. If you do the same thing for 30 days, your brain saves only one memory. Suddenly, the month passed. Routine is what kills life and speeds time now. If you want to lengthen your life, you don't need 100 years. You need to live with intensity and surprise your brain. If you travel to a new country tomorrow, that week will seem like a month because your brain will record again. The cure for time is novelty and presence. Stop living on autopilot. It is a time machine to the grave today. 2. The disease of tomorrow, anxiety. Anxiety is nothing more than an excess of future. It is the mind trying to control variables that haven't happened yet. You are here, safe, breathing, with a full stomach. In this precise nanosecond, do you have a problem? Don't tell me about tomorrow's bills. In the pure instant of the now, if you remove memory, everything is fine now. Psychological suffering is born when you abandon the now to live in an imaginary future. Because the future is uncertain, the ego is terrified. What if I get sick? What if the money runs out? You are living tragedies that haven't occurred. Your body reacts as if they were real. You are paying interest on a debt you haven't taken today. God, the creative power, only exists in the present. You cannot breathe yesterday or tomorrow. You can only breathe now. If you are worrying about the future, you are like an unplugged appliance. To regain power, you must plug in to the present moment. Say, I am here. I am alive. I am safe. I will handle the next second when it comes. Now. 3. Vertical time. Kairos versus Chronos. The ancient Greeks had two gods for time. Chronos, clock time. Horizontal time. You are born, you grow, you age, you die. It is a straight line toward the abyss. Kairos, the time of opportunity, the right moment. It is vertical time. You have lived trapped in Chronos, worried that time is running out for you in this world today. I invite you to live in Kairos. Vertical time has no duration, it has depth. Remember when you fell in love or saw a sunset that made you cry? In those moments, the clock stopped. You were outside of time. You were in eternity. That is Kairos. The goal of your second half of life is not to add years to life, but to add life to years now. You can live more in an afternoon of play with your grandchild than in 10 years of boring office work. Intensity defeats duration. Stop to smell the rose. Really do it. Close your eyes. Forget who you are. Become the scent. In that instant, you are immortal. Death cannot touch you in the now because death is a future concept today. The illusion of being late. At your age, it is common to feel that you missed the boat. I should have started this business at 30. I should have cared for my health sooner. Listen well. In the quantum field, there is no late. There is only alignment. An aligned 60-year-old can achieve in 1 year what a misaligned 20-year-old cannot achieve in a lifetime now. Colonel Sanders started KFC at 65, broke and living on Social Security. Louise Hay wrote her first book at 58. They weren't late. They arrived at their hour. The universe has a perfect gestation time for every soul. Perhaps you needed 50 years of struggles to acquire the wisdom and strength you need for your great work today. If you had succeeded at 20, you might have been arrogant. Now, your success will have depth. Don't compare yourself to others. The apple tree blooms in spring, the chrysanthemum in autumn. Is the chrysanthemum worse because it blooms late? No. Mature beauty is your peak. Spring flowers have already withered. You are in your prime now. The quantum leap, collapsing time. Quantum physics offers a fascinating concept. The quantum leap. An electron can move from orbit A to B without crossing the space in between. In your life, this means progress doesn't have to be linear and slow. You can take a leap. You can go from sick and sad to healthy and radiant in weeks if there is a radical shift in consciousness today. How do you take a quantum leap? By letting go of the past. If you drop the ballast, the balloon soars. You feel it takes too long because you try to move with the handbrake on. Your old beliefs. Release it. Forgive radically. Love radically. And you will see time collapse. God doesn't need time. He needs openness. You are a candidate now. The fear of death, the great ghost. We cannot talk about time without talking about its apparent end. The fear driving this anxiety is the fear of death. As we age, death becomes a visible reality, but from a metaphysical perspective, death does not exist. Energy is not created or destroyed, it is transformed. You are energy, you are a soul that has a body today. The body is the spacesuit you use to walk on this planet. When the suit wears out, you take it off. Does the astronaut die? No. He simply returns to the mothership. Understanding this removes the weight from the clock. You aren't running out of existence. You are running out of time for this mission. That should give you urgency now. Urgency to enjoy, urgency to love, but not fear of disappearing. When you lose the fear of dying, you start truly living. You become brave and free. What is the worst that can happen? That I die? Well, then I go home. That is the attitude of a master. Live these years as a celebration, playing with everything the world offers today. Practice anchoring in the now. How do we stop anxiety when it attacks? When your mind goes to a catastrophic future, use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sensory anchoring technique. Stop and force your brain to process the now. Look at 5 things you can see. Touch 4 things. Listen to 3 sounds. Smell 2 scents. Taste 1 thing. This hijacks your brain from imagination to perception now. Anxiety cannot live in the sensory present. It only lives in the imaginative mind. Use this technique every time you feel the knot in your stomach. Return to the body. The body always lives in the now. By grounding yourself in your senses, you dissolve the illusions of the mind and reclaim the peace that is your natural state today. Who in the prayer of the present, give us this day. Look at the most famous prayer in history. It says, give us this day our daily bread. It does not say, guarantee the bread for 20 years from now. It says, today. It is a precise metaphysical instruction. We are promised strength and resources to handle today. We are not promised the strength to handle tomorrow's imaginary problems now. When you worry about the future, you feel weak. You are trying to carry a weight that doesn't exist with energy you haven't received yet. The provision is daily. Trust that when tomorrow comes, it will bring its own manna. Your job is to manage today with excellence and joy. If you make today wonderful, the future will care for itself today. The I am is timeless. Finally, journey inside your consciousness. Remember when you were 10, 20, or 40. Your body and ideas were different, but the I that observed it all, has it changed? Has the feeling of being you aged? No. The internal observer has no wrinkles or grey hair. It is eternal. When you identify with that observer, time is no longer an enemy. Say to yourself, I am not my age. I am eternal life expressing itself through this moment. I have all the time in the world because I am outside of time. Breathe that truth. Feel the years fall away. Youth is a state of consciousness. There are old 20-year-olds and luminous 80-year-olds. Choose to be luminous in your soul now. Chapter 9 Summary. Routine is age, novelty lengthens time. Do new things. Anxiety is future. If you are anxious, you aren't here. Come back. Kairos. Seek the depth of the moment, not the duration. It's not late. You are in your perfect time zone. Bloom now. Death is a move. You are eternal energy. Don't fear the change of suit. Today's bread. Care only for the 24 hours in front of you. We have come a long way. We have dismantled your past, body, money, and time. We have opened 9 doors. One last door remains. The door that requires the most courage. Once you cross it, there are no more excuses. It is the door of massive action. It is time to burn the retreat ships. In the last chapter, we talk about the leap of faith. Chapter 10, the leap of faith, burning the ships. The story goes, half legend, half truth, that when Hernán Cortés reached the shores of the New World, he faced an impossible situation. His men were tired, scared, and outnumbered. Fear spread through the troop. They wanted to return to the security of Cuba. to their mediocre but safe comfort. Cortés knew as long as they had a way back, they would fail. He knew his men would fight with a divided heart. They would fight to survive, not to win. So he made a decision that defied all military and human logic. He gave a simple and terrible order: burn the ships. Imagine the scene. The soldiers watching their only escape turned to ash. In that moment, fear transformed into crystal-clear clarity. There was no back anymore. There was only forward. They either conquered or died. That decision changed the vibratory frequency of the entire army. They went from scared men to invincible warriors seeking glory. And they conquered an empire. You, dear listener, are on that beach today. You have heard 9 chapters and felt the call now. But you still have your ships intact on the shore. You still have your plan B. You tell yourself, I'll try this business, but if it fails, I'll go back to the job I hate. As long as you keep plan B, plan A, your miracle will never happen. The universe responds to irrevocable commitments. Today we burn the ships of your old life today, by the curse of the safety net. After 40, we become addicted to security. We have mortgages and reputations. We have much to lose. We are taught to be prudent. That prudence is the grave of your spirit. The safety net that seems to protect you actually traps you. Like a trapeze artist, if he knows there is a net, he doesn't give 100% to the jump. He falls today. But if there is no net, he becomes pure precision. His concentration is absolute. Metaphysics teaches that energy follows attention. If you have a plan B, you are dividing your energy. A rocket cannot take off with 50% fuel. You must tell the universe, it's this or nothing. No negotiation, no retreat. I am going all in my life now. The fear you feel is just your biology trying to keep you in survival mode. But you don't want to survive another 30 years. You want to live. To live with a capital L, you must be willing to die to your old security. Real security is your internal capacity to create. Burn the false safety to find your true power and potential today. Awaken, providence moves, Goethe's law. There is a famous quote attributed to Goethe: until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. But the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. Analyze this. Providence moves only after you commit, not before. Most say, God send me money and then I'll start my dream. God says no. Start the dream, show me you're serious, and then I'll send the money. It's a test of faith. It's like an automatic door. It won't open until you walk toward it and are about to hit it. You must walk toward the abyss, trusting the ground will appear beneath you now. I've seen this 1,000 times. People who left toxic relationships with nowhere to go, and the week after, a friend offered a house or a job. The universe was waiting for the click of commitment. That sound, the sound of burning the ship, is the signal that activates miracles. If you don't leap, the angels have no work today. 3. The cost of inaction, mechanics of regret. You are afraid of being wrong. You fear losing your savings or being rejected. But let me tell you about a much greater fear, the fear of final regret. Imagine yourself at 90 on your deathbed. Look back at today. If you do not leap, will you be proud of being prudent? Or will you be devoured by the question, what if now? The pain of failure weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. If you leap and fail, you have a scar and a story. That is honor. But if you don't leap, you have a ghost, an unlived life that will haunt you. Jeff Bezos used the regret minimization framework. Your age is the reason to do it now. You have no more time to wait. AV, the quantum leap versus the logical step. Your logical mind will tell you, do it bit by bit, one step at a time. Sometimes that works, but for big life changes, step by step is a trap. It's like trying to cross a precipice with short steps. You fall To cross an abyss, you must leap. A quantum leap implies a radical change of identity. You must be the new version today. You cannot be a smoker trying to quit. You must leap into being a non-smoker. You must announce your new truth to the world. By making it public, you burn the ships. You can't go back without losing face. That is good. Use that pressure. Buy the ticket. Throw away the junk food. When you lock the door, the mind looks forward now. V. Intuition as a parachute. You might say, but leaping blindly is crazy. Correct. I am not asking you to leap blindly. I am asking you to leap with the eyes of intuition wide open. You know what you have to do. You've felt it in your gut for years. That voice saying, leave this, start that. That voice is your parachute. You are leaping into wisdom today. Fear says you will crash. Intuition says you will fly. Whom will you believe? Look at your history. How many times did your fears come true? Almost never. How many times did intuition save you? Almost always. Statistics are in favor of the leap. Fear is a liar. Intuition is an honest guide. Trust the guide and let go of the shore now. V. Microleaps and macroleaps. If burning all ships at once paralyzes you, start with controlled fire. Practice leaping with small things today. Social leap. Call someone you haven't spoken to in years. Aesthetic leap. Wear those clothes you love but fear for your age. Financial leap. Invest a small amount in yourself. Train the risk muscle now. Get used to the adrenaline of uncertainty. You will see that you don't die. The world doesn't end. On the contrary, you will feel a surge of vitality. You will feel the cement break. Once you have made 10 micro leaps, you will be ready for the macro leap. Changing your life. The power of momentum will carry you through the big shift today. 7. The invisible net, field support. Understand how the universe works when you leap. The quantum field is a field of possibilities. While you are still on the shore, possibilities are static. When you leap, you shake the field. You generate waves. Your movement creates a vortex that attracts things to you. You must run toward your dreams for opportunities to fly now. There is a spiritual law. God provides the wind, but man must hoist the sail. Hoisting the sail is the leap. You cannot steer a ship tied to the port. You must release the ropes of fear and hoist the sails of action. Only then will the wind of God push you. Do not wait for the wind to let go. Let go to find the wind in your life today. Bashut, the moment is now, final urgency. The cement is drying. Every day you spend in your comfort zone, which is actually a slow death zone. The walls get thicker. Every day you don't leap, your legs get weaker. A day will come when you can no longer leap mentally. You will have resigned. You will have become a statue of salt looking at the past. Don't let that day come. Do it today, do it with fear, do it with a trembling voice, but do it. The universe rewards action, not intention. No one remembers those who thought about building a castle. We remember those who laid the first stone. Lay the stone, burn the ship, declare before the mirror, the rehearsal, life is over. Today is the premiere, now. One exercise, the resignation letter. We end this chapter with a definitive act. You will write a resignation letter, not necessarily to your boss, but to your old life. Write, I, your name, hereby present my irrevocable resignation to my role as a victim, my fear of lack, my need for approval, and my habit of postponing happiness. I am the creator today. I accept the position of creator of my destiny. I assume all risks and all glories. There is no turning back. I have burned the ships. Sign it. Date it. Keep it in your wallet. Read it every morning. It is your contract with the divine. When fear attacks, say, I'm sorry, fear. I don't work for that company anymore. I work for me now. Transition to the end. You have leaped. You are in the air. You feel the wind on your face. You feel the vertigo, but also an euphoria you haven't felt since you were a child. You are alive. Finally, you are terrifyingly alive. Where will we land? Do not worry. When you leap in faith, you land on a warm current that lifts you higher. You are a flyer now. Conclusion: the golden sunset. We have reached the end of the map. Look at your hands. They look like the same hands that held this device when we began the introduction, don't they? They have the same lines, the same marks of time, but they are not the same hands. Because the consciousness that moves them has changed. You are no longer who you were just a few hours ago today. A few hours ago, those hands held the weight of the past, the anxiety of the future, and the fear of old age. They were hands clinging to burned ships and false identities. Now they are open hands, hands empty of fear and full of possibility. They are the hands of an awakened architect. You have reclaimed your power and your vision now. During this journey, we have done the dirty work. We have chipped away at the dry cement of your habits. We have purged the toxicity of your environment. We have cut the cables of resentment that were bleeding you dry. We have leaped into the void, trusting intuition. The dust of demolition has settled. The noise of battle has silenced today. Now, in this sacred silence, you find yourself standing at the top of the mountain of your life. Look toward the horizon. What do you see? Society told you that you would see the night approaching. It told you that old age is winter, the cold, the end. But the physics of the miracle shows you something else. You see the golden sunset now. In the world of film and photography, there is a magical moment known as the golden hour. It occurs just before the sun sets. During noon, youth, the light is harsh and crushing. It creates black shadows and violent contrasts. It is the hour of struggle, sweat, and confusion. But when sunset arrives, the light changes for everything today. It becomes soft. It turns amber, red, and violet. That light beautifies everything it touches. It makes scars look like art. It makes the world look warm and welcoming. You have entered your golden hour. You no longer have the chaotic energy of 20 years old. You have something much better now. You have clarity. You are radiant today. You have the ability to look at your life and see necessary lessons instead of errors. You have the ability to look at people and see teachers instead of enemies. You can look in the mirror and see a survivor's map instead of wrinkles. This is the hidden truth about conscious aging. Happiness is actually easier for you now. When you were young, you needed much to be happy: success, money, noise. Now you have the superpower to find ecstasy in a cup of coffee. You can cry with gratitude at the sight of a bird. You can feel God in the silence of your living room. That is not settling, that is mastery. The master simply is. You are that master today. Do not let anyone tell you that your best days are behind you. That is the lie of the cement. Your best days are happening now, in the vertical dimension of time. Kairos. Youth was the sowing. It was hard work under the scorching sun. This is the harvest. It is the time to sit under the vine and drink life in slow, deep sips now. Do not save the wine for a special occasion. You are alive. Your heart beats. Your mind is lucid. You have awakened. This is the special occasion. Perhaps you feel a last sting of fear. What if I fall asleep again? Do not worry. Once the mind stretches toward a new idea, it never returns to its original dimension. You know now today. You already know you are energy. You know time is an illusion. You know your word creates. Even if you have a bad day, you will no longer be a victim. You will be a creator having a bad day, and you will know how to find your way out of it. Remember the legacy you are leaving. You are the torch that illuminates your entire lineage now. Your children and grandchildren are watching you. They aren't looking for wealth or fame. They are looking to see if you have fear or if you have peace. If they see a human being walking toward the mystery with curiosity and a smile, you will be giving them immortality. You are teaching them that life is good from start to finish today. And about the end, look at that setting sun once more. When the sun sets on the horizon, does it die? Does it go out? No. It simply stops illuminating here to start illuminating there. It is a sunrise somewhere else. You are a sun. You are a star of eternal consciousness. When your time comes to set, it will not be an end today. It will be a move. You will take off the tight suit of matter and return to being pure light, free of pain, free of time, free of gravity. Death is only the horizon, and the horizon is nothing more than the limit of our sight. Do not be afraid. The great architect awaits on the other side to ask if you enjoyed the game now. Make sure you have a good answer. Make sure you reach the end empty, having given all your love, all your laughter, and all your talent. Take nothing to the grave. What is not given is lost. Now stand up, literally. Wherever you are listening to this, straighten your back, take a deep breath, fill your lungs with the now today. Feel the electricity in your fingers. That is the physics of the miracle running through your veins. You are not an accident. You are an intention of God made flesh. You have a mission that only you can fulfill in these golden years. Be the lighthouse. Be the peace. Be the living proof that it is never too late to be reborn now. The ships are burned. The past is ash. The future is a blank canvas, and the brush is in your hand. Go out there. Paint a masterpiece. And please, be happy. It is the only way to say thank you for the gift of being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for waking up. The journey has only just begun. The world is yours today.